So this expo is a huge trade fair, essentially, an import expo in this commercial capital, Shanghai. We're at the Australian stand, if you like, at this expo. We've just heard, not only from the Prime Minister, but just before him, China's #2 leader, Li Cheng, really opening up this expo this morning with a speech that talked a lot about opening up, China opening up to the world, more free trade, embracing free trade. He referred repeatedly to opening up, and he said that China would resolutely oppose unilateralism and protectionism. Now, bear in mind that China has just spent a few years unilaterally punishing Australia with trade sanctions worth around $20 billion. Most of them have been eased over the last 12 months or so, leading up to this visit by Anthony Albanese. Still a couple of outstanding ones, lobster, beef and the wine tariffs are being reviewed. Certainly Australia would like to see the rest of them removed. It would like to see China opening up and truly embracing free trade without the threat of those tariffs. To that end, the Prime Minister in his remarks at this summit, at this trade expo, also talked about the great trade relationship we've historically had between the two countries, focused on resources, but also flagging there's more we can do on clean energy together, and somewhat subtly saying that the best way to ensure improved trading relationship is to remove any trade barriers. So a way of saying we don't want to see those sorts of tariffs reimposed.
So some key messages there in both of those speeches, David. Ultimately, though, what will the Prime Minister be hoping to achieve with this trip overall?
Look, there's not an expectation on the Australian side that they walk away after this visit over the next few days with the final tariffs, lobster, beef, being dropped. But the aim here is to cement this stabilisation, this engagement between the two countries at the leader level and the stabilisation in the relationship. And certainly there's an expectation that those remaining sanctions will be removed fairly soon, possibly by the end of the year. But it is that engagement that really is the aim of this whole visit. Today, the big trade focus here in Shanghai. Tonight, the Prime Minister heads to Beijing, where tomorrow he'll meet China's #1 leader, and that, of course, is President Xi Jinping. And there, it will be, no doubt, some focus on the positives, the trade relationship, but he's also vowed to raise some of the difficulties in the relationship which remain, whether that's human rights concerns, the ongoing detention of Australian writer Yang Hengjun, and China's role in the South China Sea and its ambitions to seize Taiwan and so on. That's where the tougher part of this visit will come. But it's a little unclear whether there will be a joint communique between the two leaders at the end of that meeting or what exactly will be the takeout. But the fact they are meeting is really the main aim.